Hey guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada SV.
And a big thanks to Red and the rest of the management and staff here at Courtesy Nissan in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Red.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Armada has been Nissan's full-size SUV since 2004. The third generation Armada that you see here is all new this year for 2025, more powerful than ever at 425 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. That's an increase of 25 horsepower and 103 pound-feet. Doing so now through a twin-turbo V6 and completely ditching the gas-guzzling 5.6-liter endurance V8. As you can see from the exterior, the 2025 Armada gets a complete redesign. The same applying to the interior, available in 5 trims, exclusively equipped with the new 3.3-liter twin-turbo V6, available either with rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, ranging from the $57,000 base SV that we have here up to the $87,000 Platinum Reserve. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So for a sub $57,000 base price, as you'll see throughout this review, this is a loaded SUV. Of course, it's just a 2-wheel drive version. For a few $1,000 extra, you can get all the trims with the 4-wheel drive. But as you'll see in this video, not necessarily necessary. We get full LED lighting, LED for the high and low beam, LED daytime running light, all new V-Motion grille, updated Nissan badge, fog lights, full front parking sensing, no forward-facing camera, as you guys can see where it potentially would be on the higher trims, but a really good overall look, and with the front parking sensing, not necessarily necessary. Panel housing our advanced safety features. I mentioned that we have fog lights. Those are just cutouts, I apologize, with some functional airflow in each corner, radiator and intercooler for this new 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6. All body color trim for the wheel well area. We get these new black gunmetal gray 18-inch rims, 6-lug pattern, wrapped in Dunlop AT23 Grand Trek all-season tires. The dimensions are 265/70 R18. The 70 sidewall tires should keep the ride quality super plush, and we'll see the 265 wide tires for the 2-wheel drive model put the power to the ground. A little bit of shiny chrome for the heat extractor. We get standard running boards in the 2025 Armada SV. Splash guards, those are an option. The mirrors are large. We don't get the camera because we don't get the 360. They're body color mirrors with blind spot monitoring on the glass. We get some aluminum trim for the bottom part of the window trim, all body color up top. Aluminum roof rails, no panoramic moonroof. Hopefully you can pick everything up top. We get 4-door smart access as well. Same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller single piston brake caliper. Splash guard out rear, side sensor to help us out with a full 360 sensing for this large SUV. But again, it does not come with a 360 unless you go for the higher trims. The gas cap is push to open with easy fill. Unleaded fuel, premium fuel being recommended for maximum performance. Armada labeled in the upper right part of the rear pillar area, full LED taillights, turn signals, and reverse lights, rear parking sensing as we mentioned. Trailer hitch, this SUV can now tow 8,500 pounds. Armada labeled in a smoked aluminum trim. Updated Nissan badge with some shiny chrome outside of it, the wiper housed underneath the third brake light. The exhaust tip, we'll take a squat down here. It's a single exhaust, spare tire, independent rear suspension, but speaking of the exhaust, let's fire up this all-new 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6, and here she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the all-new 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 sold by Nissan for the 2025 Armada. And it sounds okay, not quite as beefy as the 5.6-liter V8, but a lot more efficient and a lot more powerful. Cranking out 425 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this massive 6,000-pound SUV to 60 in around 6 seconds, maybe quicker if you get a really good launch, making it a no-joke performer and averaging about 2 more MPGs compared to the outgoing Endurance V8. The hydraulic struts are appreciated. We can shut this hood right down, take a step back before we check out the interior on this 2025 Armada SV. Let's take a quick look at this window sticker and see what we get with a $56,520 base price $400 for the splash guards, $550 for the floor mats, $2,000 destination charge, and everything else. You guys can pause, take a look at all the standard features. It comes loaded. There's no other full-size SUV for the two-wheel drive model, base as it gets, that comes standard with non-cloth seats. They're not genuine leather, as you guys can see, they're just leatherette, but they feel just like the real thing, extremely comfortable. And we get tri-zone climate control among many other options and features standard on the $56,000 Armada SV with 18 combined MPG, 16 in the city, 20 on the highway. Big improvement compared to the outgoing V8. That was probably the biggest complaint with consumers, just the horrible fuel economy out of that motor. Is this 3.5 liter V6 going to be as reliable? I guess only time can tell. But taking a step inside of this all new third generation Nissan Armada, let's see what we get. So the standard SV trim gets this leatherette stitched material with nice contrast in the center. It's a nice soft material and a gushy soft armrest. 4-window auto one touch. We don't get power folding mirrors, but they're 4-way adjustable. Just hard plastic down below. You'll fit a foot long or a 32-ounce water bottle, but it's sideways. Make sure the lid is tightly closed. We get 2 speakers on the door panel. It's just the standard Armada system, but for the standard system, it sounds surprisingly good. Definitely not a reason to have to go for an upgrade compared to this SV. This is a pretty decent base system. We get electrically adjustable leatherette seats with really good bolstering. It's not sports car bolstering by any means, but it's a much better bolstered seat compared to a lot of other vehicles in this segment, while still being very comfortable. And for a base SV, huge thumbs up to Nissan for not giving us cloth fabric seats. We mentioned the electric adjustments. The running boards are appreciated. So is the grab handle. Taking a step inside, foot of the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. So with this all new third generation Armada, we get an all new interior, as you mentioned, and it looks good, completely modernizing this vehicle, sharing a theme to the rest of Nissan's lineup, but to be expected. Of course, for the base, there are going to be a couple cost-cutting measures, but as you'll see throughout this interior, it is genuinely surprising how many options and features they packed into this base Armada. There's an additional tweeter speaker up top too, so 3 speakers on the door panel. The steering wheel is thick, solid 10 and 2. The 9.3 feels okay. The horn area is just hard plastic. The horn, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check. We get dual pane windows on the base SV trim, paddle shifters for the 9-speed automatic transmission, adaptive cruise control, volume controls on the right side, voice commands, skip controls, and adjustments for this 12.3-inch digital gauge display. The tach goes to about 6,000 RPM, 140 mile-an-hour speedometer. The adjustments, let's check them out. Right now we're looking at our source, tire pressure, drive computer, home screen, settings, and our 360 cents. My personal favorite would be the song, but we're not going to be playing any music for copyright purposes, so I'll just leave it right over here in its home screen. The stocks have a very satisfying click, auto headlamps, auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers standard on the SV. That's an appreciated touch. Tilt and telescoping steering column, lane keep assist, electronic parking brake with brake hold. Hopefully you guys can pick up the pedals. Leather stitching or leatherette stitching for the center part of this dashboard, and all soft touch for the dashboard itself. The touchscreen, we're checking out the home screen right now. No standard navigation, unfortunately, but the higher trims do get that with an available 14.3-inch display as well. We get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can mirror your phone's navigation to the screen, so not a big deal with the climate adjustments beneath. We still get hard buttons for the climate, air vents above it, dimmer, volume and skip. Perfect location for the driver and the passenger. We get some blank switches here for the base SV. They'll be filled as the trim levels go up. We still get dual zone automatic front climate control. No heated seats. You got to go up to the higher trims to even get the heated seats. And then the ventilated seats are basically reserved for the top trims. The gear selector for the 9-speed auto, backup camera, super high resolution, guidance lines and trajectory, but we got to go to the higher trims to get the forward facing camera and the 360. Throwing right back into park, we return right back to the previous screen. I'm like baking back here for some reason. The climate is turned off. We'll turn the AC on at least a little bit. We don't get the wireless phone charger here too. Either standard on the base SV is available on the higher trims. Leatherette stitching for where your leg will often hit with some additional storage in the center. Cup holders, you'll fit up to 24, maybe 32-ounce bottles. This faux wood trim to cover up this entire center stack. Since 1951, labeled on this aluminum trim. Hopefully you can pick that up on camera. Not quite sure if the lighting is getting in the way. There we go. And it's also labeled Armada in this aluminum trim piece for this center console area with a very soft full-size armrest, white contrast stitching with a differentiation in the leatherette trim level. We get a 2-tier storage area, all lined in felt. This tier will fit probably 4, maybe 5 iPhones, some wallets. You'll fit probably 8 to 12 1-liter bottles of soda, additional USB-C ports. I believe Nissan advertises 6 total USB-C ports in this interior, not something that was available on the previous Armada. Leather stitching for the center area. You can pull this latch. The glove box is damped, not lined in felt, and not the largest. You'll fit about 20 license plates. Should fit 2 pairs of shoes though with no problem. We don't get an auto-dimming rear view mirror. It's not frameless. You got to pull this flappy thing to dim it. Probably the first omission in this SV that I would expect from a vehicle in this price point. We also don't get a power opening liftgate in the back, but those are the only 2 features that I can think of that this vehicle doesn't have. Outside of that, loaded for the money. The lights are touch sensitive and LED. We don't get the panoramic moonroof, and what you see is basically what we get. That's about it for the front seat, at least, of this 2025 Nissan Armada base SV. Let's take a step out back, see how much space is offered back here, as well as the overall quality of the materials. The leather stitching continues out back, aluminum grab handle, gushy soft armrest, auto one-touch window, and 2 speakers on the door panel. We get a decent amount of storage. You'll fit a foot long and a large 32-ounce water bottle. It's still sideways though. Make sure the lid is tightly closed. The second row seats have a very, very far recline function to them. They can recline and slide. The legroom looks fantastic, typical of just about every full-size SUV. Running board continues, making it really easy getting in and out. And at a little bit over 6 feet tall, I still have about a foot of knee room. Headroom in its max recline setting, I have like 6 inches. Unbelievably comfortable. Compared to mid-size 3-row SUVs in this price point, this is just a mile ahead. Not only when it comes to practicality, but also performance and comfort. This is a genuinely comfortable SUV at this price point. When it's priced similar to like a Palisade Calligraphy, offering twice as much space, just about the same practicality. A little bit down on options and features, but if you prioritize performance and space over options and features, I think we have a clear winner over here. We get 3rd zone climate control, no heated seats. We don't even have them up front, so wouldn't be expected out rear. 2 USB-C ports, additional 12-volt, and map pockets behind both of the front seats. The interior lights back here are touch-sensitive LED. Air vents that blow directly into your face. We get a hook for both of the rear grab handles. The center cubby, leatherette, 2 cup holders. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles with a pass-through in there. And that's about it for the second row. Unbelievably spacious. Let's hop out into the 3rd row, see how much space is offered back there, and then check out the cargo space before we take this 2025 Armada out for a drive. So with the seats in their fully reclined position, I still have about half an inch of knee room, which I can't say with just about any other vehicle in this segment. I could try to put the seats in a slightly more realistic position, and with the seat upright and slid about half an inch forward, you can see there's still plenty of room for the 2nd row passengers. And I have like 4 inches of knee room now. Headroom about half an inch. We'll see if these 3rd row seats recline. They do recline, and with the 3rd row seats in its max reclined setting, I have about 1.5 to 2 inches of headroom, still about 2 inches of overall knee room. That's why you're going with a full-size SUV over anything for the mid-size segment. There aren't any mid-size SUVs that have this much 3rd row space. The previous generation Armada didn't even have this much 3rd row space. They really maximized this interior tremendously. The armrests back here, just hard plastic. We get charge ports. They're USB-C on each side, and these 3rd row seats still have a very nice leatherette padding to them. Even the headrest, very well padded. Seating for 3 back here, and unlike a lot of other SUVs, I can actually see you fit 3 200-pound adults in this 3rd row rather comfortably. To hop out of here, you simply push the seat in its upright position. We have an additional air vent for the 3rd row passenger, grab handles on each side as well. But taking a step out of here, the running boards make things a lot easier. We can put the seat right back where we had it, and take a step out towards the cargo space. See how much space is offered back here with the 3rd row up and with the 3rd row down. Another complaint, well, my second complaint, is that we don't have a power lift gate, but big whoop, it's really not that hard, especially with the hydraulic struts. Unfortunately, the Armada is one of the only full-size SUVs not available in an extended wheelbase. So although we have a huge 3rd row, just like most mid-size SUVs, there's just not that much space behind it. That's where the extended wheelbase full-size SUVs really play a role, because even with the 3rd row up, you'd have just about the exact same cargo space as we have here with the 3rd row down. We can put the 3rd row down. There's latches on each seat, and the seat flies forward. We got to put the headrests down before we do so. There we go. But with the third row down, hopefully you guys can pick it up. I'll leave a link right here, show you exactly how much cargo space is back here with the third row up, third row down, and with the second row down. Big improvement compared to the outgoing model, but without the extended wheelbase, you are giving the American competition that does offer the extended wheelbase a slight edge in that regard. Behind the third row though, if you need the third row seats permanently up, we can check out the secret storage. There's a little bit of it. You can fit some grocery bags, some car accessories down there. What you see is basically what we get though. Since we don't have the power lift gate, you're gonna have to push it down old school, big whoop. We also don't have the opening glass. A lot of other full-size SUVs have the detaching opening glass, whereas this Armada does not have it. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new third generation 2025 Nissan Armada base SV, with emphasis on the base because I was not expecting it to be this ridiculously loaded, all for under $60,000 after some options, after destination. I wouldn't be surprised if you can pick one of these out the door for around the $60,000 price point right now. Considering it just came out, that says a lot. Huge value in that regard, and with this all-new power plant, more powerful than ever. Let's take this 2025 Nissan Armada SV out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada SV. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impression, the steering, it's a little bit lighter compared to the outgoing model. It's not the hydraulic rack anymore, but it still feels nice, solid, and beefy. It does not feel like a non-Nissan SUV, but it also doesn't feel like a outdatedly heavy unit either, if you know what I mean. The brakes feel really good for a 6,000-pound SUV. Throttle response for a twin turbo, it feels good. It feels more like an EcoBoost than it feels like say Hurricane V6. Brakes feel good. Yeah, it feels strong. Whoa. On concrete pavement, super quiet. This is without question the quietest vehicle that I've ever driven on this road from the Nissan lineup, and I'm sure it'll only get better and better as the trim levels go up. Although it's a 6,000-pound Armada, it doesn't really take a lot of steering effort to keep this thing moving in a straight line. Definitely tracks straighter than the previous model. Body roll, turning radius, body roll, there's some, but not as much as the previous model. Turning radius, surprisingly good. We can take a step out here, about third throttle. Ooh, once that boost kicks in. Whew, yeah, it can rip. Doesn't have that instant punch that the V8 had. But as soon as, yeah, that boost kicks in, it's so much stronger than that V8 ever could have even dreamed of being. We'll try one out off the line as soon as this guy passes. See how it puts the power down, off the line, on the gas. Boost. Wow. That's a strong power plant. Very, very strong. Not as instant as the 5.6, but without question, quicker. Try out these paddles. Rev match downshifts. Whoo, snappy too. Brakes, turn in, sharp, on the gas. Yeah, just nowhere to go. This is a powerful power plant. We can try out these manual shifts out on this multi-lane highway, open her up a little bit more, start off in first gear, on the gas. Well, it definitely limits the power throughout the gear shifts in the manual shift modes, but once you're already moving, it limits nothing. So it's definitely not a performance-oriented vehicle. I feel like it's quicker when you're not using the paddle shifters. Real world turning radius test. Hopefully this van lets me go. He did not. Hopefully this guy lets me go. He did. On the gas, a little bit of lag. Traction control, but there we go. Yeah, no need to beat it up any further. This thing is a rocket ship. Yeah, definitely no complaints when it comes to overall performance. We try out the steering assist system. Oh, nope, it vibrates, but it does not throw you in, so do not use that or do not rely on it to get you out of some sticky situations. It will remind you to keep your eyes on the road, but it will not point and shoot the vehicle for you like some of Kia's and Hyundai's lineup vehicles. Whew. This handling is such an improvement compared to the outgoing model. You look down, you're going so much quicker than you think you are. You definitely don't think you're in an Armada. You could be fooled that you're actually in a Pathfinder. Throwing it in way quicker than we should though. Powering out. Woo! Some trucks doing some work here, but hopefully you guys can pick it up on camera. The level of improvement that this vehicle is seeing through not just performance, but also refinement, space, practicality, and even looks and interior design. There's absolutely nothing that this vehicle hasn't improved on. And we're sitting in a base. This thing has a $56,000 base price. I was not expecting to get into a base Armada today with a $56,000 base price. Not seeing cloth seats, seeing these dual 12.3 inch screens, just about leather materials or leatherette materials everywhere you're touching. Decent audio system, great looks, and a huge improvement when it comes to space and practicality at the base level. As you go up through the trim levels, it's going to get better and better, but considering that this base Armada is this good, I will 100% recommend checking it out. You want some more options and features, I can only expect this becoming an even better SUV. I'm sure it's not going to get worse as the trim levels progress. So if you're looking for a full-size SUV that doesn't break the bank but gives you everything you're looking for, more power than any midsize SUV, more space than any midsize SUV, modern looks, and just about every option and feature you could possibly want or need, this is your car. And a big thanks to Red and the rest of the management and staff here at Courtesy Nissan in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa Bay area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and ask for Red. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.